Hello and welcome to Michelle Holden Art. This week we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to use some prompts that I created and they're going to give me the start or the suggestions of that particular layer. And remember I said in the previous videos that it depends on the sequence. You can play and use the same kind of elements, but it depends on the order and it'll turn out differently every time. And that's part of this exploration, part of this process. So I have them here on my journal page that I'm going to start. So if you're interested in them, I'm going to leave them in my resource library, which you need to get on my email list and join my newsletter for all this new stuff. And don't forget to get your self-reflection PDF, which is just part and the start of this whole guide that I'm in the middle of creating. So onward to some prompts and let's get started. So here are the prompts, and I just took a moment to add a few more as I was looking at my my notes from my sequence of layers for the videos that are the warm orange and black and white ones, and I'm leaving a card in the video. China marker, which is my favorite, a thin brush, and I might even add the differences there. So anyway, here they are. So pencil lines, and I'm choosing things that I like to do. So nothing here is anything I don't like. It's the order of things as we're thinking of it's all in the layers. So scratch some areas. Oil pastels, line, because I always like to use line, but it might ignite an idea of a shape. So I'm going to just put them in this little cup, and I'm going to use them right from the start, which, as you know, if you've been watching me, and if you haven't, welcome to the channel. These are all little sort of tutorials to help you get started with your intuitive art journaling practice, where we discover our true art one layer at a time. And welcome. So I'm not even going to look at them. I'm just going to choose. And as you can see, I have my materials that I just spoke to me. Each time I'll choose, but I'm sticking with a similar color palette, which is way more complex than what I usually do. But sometimes I don't even end up using any of these colors, and I keep putting them out on my palette, not using them and wasting paint. So that sort of bugs me. So I'm just gonna I think I'll put the blue away, and I think I want to stick with some warm because I was working with cool there for a while, and that's how I work. And you'll discover over practice how you like to work. I have a selection of stencils, corrugated cardboard for some horizontal lines or vertical lines. I may use the number 5. I like the font and the size. That to me could be a big shape. And I'm going to put this to the side and let's get started. So a big shape. That is so cool because I never start with a big shape. So it doesn't say what color, leaving that very open. And this is the transparent mixing white. For when you're veiling and pushing back layers, I'm finding so far, it's really nice. So a big shape. And I had a sudden change of heart. I think I want my big shape this time to be black. Okay, that's pretty big for me. So when I'm drying, I won't narrate. So that's the only part of the videos or my tutorials that I speed up. Still a little tacky down below, but I'm just going to dab that so it speeds things up. While I was drying, I was thinking, well, because I have this feeling of fun and play, because I don't have to think. Intuition is not a thinking process. So this really helps. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. Let's go for the next one. Two brush strokes. Okay, two brush strokes. I'm going to use, I think, and you want to think in size, no matter what you're using, large, medium, and small. Keep it very simple. I think white. Here we go. And I'll just do a little bit of lifting here. Helps the drying process. Oh, you see? And then look, you get, it's just amazing. So knowing what happened there and knowing this is very thick and this is very transparent white, I am going to put it on here. Yes, I did change the brush stroke, but that's okay. And now this piece of transparent collage is more interesting. Let's dry this layer. Layer number 2. Okay. Oh, I like this, a pattern. And you probably are wondering, well, I could use a stenciling pattern. I could use this for my pattern. And I think I'm going to. It just speaks to me. And I love my lines, and you just never know, because every time you apply, and it's going to be white, and there's no rules here. Say if I liked it, I might want to repeat it, so I will. This is just to give you just a great idea. And once you get going, so what I'm going to do, just to keep this in mind, I'm going to keep the prompts in order up here so that I can just make some quick notes. Yes, this is exploration, but what if the effect is really cool and I want to remember the sequence? It'll all turn out different every time, but I think I'm going to put this right here. And you're always thinking, too, of overlapping. That's what I teach my students at school. They're always afraid to overlap. Well, that's really cool. Okay. I don't think it needs another one, so I'm just going to put that to the side, and it'll dry. Okay, I usually have, and that's why it's so important to have, but you know, you're not recording, or maybe some of you are, I don't know, have everything right here. But I don't mind using this as a lift because, whoops, those are my fine line, and I have to add that as one of my prompts. Thin line, so you could use that as your tool. And just to dab that, you see it's still tacky. It made a few interesting marks on my collage. So it just needs a little bit more drying. geez. Here we go. Getting white paint everywhere. So I'm wondering what the next. So to be fair and to walk the walk, I'm such a stickler on myself. I'm going to keep on going with the prompts, with the whole thing. But I may stop maybe past or at the middle point and then finish it without prompts if I don't need any. If I really see something really cool, that's where these rules, you make up your own. So here we go. Oh, I better show them. Ooh, what's this one? I like this. A big collage piece, torn. So now that we're getting big and we see shapes carrying past the edge, so, we know, oh, there's this painting goes further. It's expansive. So let's see what we can do. A torn. I don't want to use my circles. This is an encyclopedia, and this is very interesting. I think I want to save this. Interesting. Ah, here we go. This is torn, and it's big, and it's the more expressive line work where you don't use a jelly plate printer. You could use it at the beginning for first layers. There's so many ways. I have a video which is in this category. I think I called it gestural marks. Not using a jelly plate, and you see how it's slightly transparent, but not all the way. So just for that purpose, I am going to use some of these with black. Actually, no, I'm not going to use those. I am going to use my China marker. And that's all. Just so you can see some marks in there, I'm going to trim this. So a big collage. Now I could have went solid. Let's just check that out. And it's torn. Okay, I don't know if that goes. I'm liking something more colorful. Color. Now I'm thinking about all these prompts. I like that space up there. Yeah, I'll just tone that down a little. See how I'm making it more, this is smaller, this is larger, where it was a little too equal. And I think I want it right there. Okay. Actually, this is way more fun than I thought it would be. So I'm deciding, I think I'm going to make a prompt sheet and you can cut them out, and you probably want to, I don't think you need to laminate them, but you want to put it on some kind of, that's sort of like an index card weight. They're just those postcards that you buy. I get them at Michael's. It's my art store. And you can get them in squares, rectangles. And I think I want that not going all the way up. Now you barely see, but it is there. You can it's evident. So subconsciously you know. But not everything has to be over another layer. So look at the shapes that are that are happening. This is great. I love it. Okay, next prompt. An opaque layer. All right. So that opaque layer is not going to be collage because I just did collage. Okay. And I think a big color shaper. I think I will. Yeah, I like that black. Add a little white to this just to, so it's not out of the tube. This is the yellow Oxide from Liquitex Basics. There. Okay. So I'm just going to get some paper. And you can also do your lifting with some of your text. Look at this from an old dictionary or an encyclopedia. Any kind of charts, they look really cool. So I'm going to use that side. And I'll just keep making marks. I might really make it transparent, use a glaze, and it'll be ready for collage. And sometimes I like to use them, put them on plainly at first in the early layers, and then build. It's just, see, it's all in the sequence of your layering. I like this. Now, it's some opacity, some not, but you know what? That triggered that layer. Let's keep going. Okay. Scratch some areas. Exactly what I want to do. These are dry already. But let's scratchy marks maybe. Oh, I like that. Okay. Very subtle. How about this one? Oil lines, oil pastels. I like that. Okay. Now I have, there's a couple of different oil pastels that I use. I think I will use the water-soluble oil pastels, which are slightly different than the Caran d'Ache Classic. And I'll just briefly open those. These are great and watercolory for underlayers or maybe glazing. I'm finding I'm using these in the same way. So right now it says lines. Okay. I think, no, there's already enough of that. Yeah, the blue. I don't know about that. So now that I've made that, since they're water soluble, we can now it might not stay this way, so you just have to rub it, then it picks up the pigment. I do like white, so I might come in with a brighter white layer after. Okay, let's keep going. One of my favorite shapes, circles. Okay, now I've got some stencil circles here ready to go, which I think go really nicely. How many do I want? Oh, this is cool down here. Okay, that's it. So once you move your collage around and you get that immediate, oh, go for it. That's where it needs to go in your work, or on your work. I always love to crop some of them. Now, vertical, horizontal, no, horizontal, this way. Okay then. So I hope you are enjoying my series of videos, and if you didn't notice, they are evolving and changing, and I'm really liking that, as I am, and I've been saying, I'm in the middle of creating my free course, which really introduces everyone into starting an intuitive art journaling practice, along with self-reflection and all sorts of other goodies. So I'm just not going to give it away yet because I know I'm going to add more to it. So it'll be like a guide with a series of videos that come to your email daily. So look at that. Okay, yeah, there's a little bit of black on there, so we'll wipe that off. So I'm so excited. It's a lot of work, as I'm finding. As well as keeping up a YouTube channel and all of that. But you know what? We're just forging ahead, slowly but surely. And if you are on my email list, you will be first to know, and you will always be first for any work, news. You'll be on my newsletter and all sorts of things. So it really benefits you to hop on my email list. Get your self-reflection PDF, which is in the description or the part of the profile on my channel and below the video, I believe. All right, so let's dry these layers. Now we're going to see how many layers there are, and but let's dry them first. And I was looking. When I'm drawing, sometimes things here on the left catch my eye. And I was looking at this shape, and I was wondering, is there some way to reflect it? I like the torn edge. I don't want all of this space, so I will cut that off. And maybe even crop it. Or is that, see, already that's too many lines, so we're not doing it. Next. Okay, and if you choose one that you don't like maybe this one, a charcoal mark. Nah, I don't really want a charcoal mark. So I'm just going to keep going. One mark. A distinct mark. I think I know what I want this to be. Nope, I'm not going to bring in another color. Right there. That's it. Now, I will dab that. Okay. There we go. I'm just going to go one more time, and then we'll see what we have. Ooh. Liking this. A stencil. And I forgot to add a stamp. So, I've been really wanting to use this. I haven't used it in a little while. My little Lego piece. So let's get some white paint for that. White. Should it be white? Let's use some yellow oxide. and overlap. Why I chose this is that the composition already has the yellow oxide in this area. So this, I'm thinking, may not turn out that way, that it's going to be a subtle thing, more of a pattern. It's more vertical. But we need to go over that way a bit. I'm really liking how it's overlapping the circles. So I think I'll go like this. Yeah. See, instead of going up, now we're going that way. The eye, I mean. Okay. This one. Okay. I haven't really veiled anything, so I think I want to do that. And then I'm going to finish up with some pencil lines and some spatters, and that's it. So my goal is to start simplifying, and this has been really, really fun. So veil. So let's use that transparent mixing white. And I've not really compared it side by side with the fluid just to see how transparent or not, their difference in transparency. I should really do that by putting it on some black. That might really be a nice short demo. Okay, so thinking up here. So now, you see the shape? Now that's pushed that back. And now this shape is way more pronounced. I'm going to even do it there. Now I like how this brings the eye down. Then depending on the angle, you can increase the opacity or lessen the opacity. I knew I had a little yellow on there, but that pushes that back. Oof, okay, I think, let's see, what would that look like? So it lessens the contrast between that mark and the black. Now let's increase it again. Let's see. Yeah, I think I like it a little more bold. Okay. So I think I want to stop there and just finish with some line. And I'm going to use my markers, my Posca markers. Just that angle and it being vertical sort of prompted that mark. I'm not sure if I really like it, but it's there. Too strong. But this is okay. Brings that eye up there. I think some pencil. And I I'm going to stop. I love my sprinkle though. So I'm just going to focus in this area with black. Need a bit more. Oh, too much water. Okay. That's okay. We'll just wipe it up. I'm really liking that. If it needs something. No, I think it just needs to be left. This is the simplest one I've done. I think I'd like a little glaze over there. Let's see. See how it's counteracting with that? I don't know. Some Nicolazo would be good. Okay. Okay, got those out of there. Those are the little dots that I sprinkled that I'm now stretching into marks. Okay. So just a very faint layer. Rather than your eye going right off the page. I think that works. Actually, no. Something else caught my eye. And I know I've got lots of circles. This might be too many, and these are too much like eyes. Nope. So funny. Oh, I think that works better. Just blue. Yeah, I like that there. So it's sort of diagonally that. Okay, I think we're good. I don't think it needs any more, except just a couple of those. I don't know what it is. I just love my drawing marks. Okay, so we'll dry those and dry the heat up the tape for the reveal. Okay. And of course, thinking of my gold. And it only needs a little bit. as I've said before in my videos, I can get carried away with all my drawing and my line, but I just love it. There we go. Okay. What is that? No. And you'll find too that you develop just certain symbolism or symbols, or maybe not even, but I just love to do that, my little window. So let's see how this turned out. Now, before I started, as you can see, it's shiny there. I pre-do a lot of pages that are 8 by 10 with pencil. Then I add the fluid medium to the edge, the gloss medium, I should say. So it always bleeds, doesn't matter. I didn't seal the edge though before I started. So you might want to consider that. And I can see a little bit of that collage lifting over here. So I'm going to get that right now. There we go. Now I see that the collage is over this, so I'm just going to score it with an X-Acto knife to go right along the edge of the tape. And yes, that helps so much. And you only want to go as deep as the collage. Okay, well there it is. So we started off with a big shape, 2 brush strokes, pattern, a big torn collage piece, opaque layer, scratch some areas, oil pastel lines, 1 mark, which was my finger there, circles, a stencil. I didn't use a stencil, did I? Yes, I did. That was back here. A big shape, then it was a stencil with the the cardboard. And veil something was... and I don't know an opaque layer. Yeah. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 layers. So as you can see, depending on how you use your layers, you can create a very rich art journal page using your intuitive art journal to explore this kind of approach. This was really fun. I am so going to keep doing this, and I might add a few more prompts to my little collection here, and I will have those available in my resource library on my website. So don't forget to hop onto my email list to get them. And so here's the reflection part, which is, I find, very important. And I'll just show you, let's see if you can see some of that metallic pen. And I really had a lot of fun. And that's really important. When it comes to your art and you just aren't having fun anymore, something's wrong. And it just could be a subtle thing. It's the approach. So I'm just going to just date this. And I'm not going to show you the whole thing. I just wanted to talk about the self-reflection part. And I am enjoying creating my art. Having fun. Okay. And the layers, well, I'll use the video, of course. You want to remember your layers. You might not want to use 10 or 11 layers like we did, but I'll just put 11 and then see video, and I will write them down later. My colors were mostly black. Turquoise. Yellow oxide. And black and white. That's it. And my tools were my pens, my color shaper, finger for my finger marks, pencil. Oh yes. And stencils, which was my cardboard. See, later on, I'm finding I really forget. And then, of course, my collage, my recent collage, which is the gestural mark collage. In the video, I'll leave it in the card here, so you can check that out. And what was my intention for this? Number one, not to think. Just start with prompts. And just to see. And it would be, the reason for that was to see what would happen by changing the layer sequences and thoughts and feelings. Just great. Fun, playful, enjoy the process. And I will do it again. And some days when you're feeling just not so great, or you forget and you want to come back, so I would put it right here in this journal. I would just glue it in. And as you can see, I've started a whole bunch here. And now I can say, oh yeah, that's what I did. Words and messages, I don't really have any. You know, you just fill out what you feel like filling out. And there you have it. So I hope this part of the video you enjoyed. And don't forget to get your self-reflection PDF by signing up to my email. There's a guide, there's a free course, there's a whole bunch of stuff coming your way, and I will see you in the next one.